Welcome to the newest microcenter location here in Santa Clara, California. We are so excited to be here, so today I am going to take you on a tour of our newest microcenter location. We're going to check out everything inside, so come on in with me and let's see what we got. So when you walk into our newest microcenter location, you are going to be greeted by all of this. This is tech heaven. We have over 25,000 products, and that's going to cover everything that you need, whether it's a new computer, a new laptop, desktop, let's say PC components, 3D printers, single board computing, every single cable, every single electronic gadget that you can think of. That is why we are tech heaven, because we have it all under one roof. And that's why we also have this, the knowledge bar. This is where you can come for expert service, where we can help you fix any issue that you'll have with your tech. Let's say your PC is not booting up, or maybe it's running a little bit slower than it used to. Well, you can bring it down to the knowledge bar, and our service technicians, they're gonna take a look at it and they're gonna help you out to make sure it's running just as good as it was when it was brand new. Now, what I also love about Micro Center is actually located right over there. So why don't you follow me right over? Because this is my favorite part of Micro Center. This is the build your own department. We also call this the BYO department. Now, this is the best place because you can get every single component you need to build your own PC. So we're talking CPUs, GPUs, motherboards, memory, everything that you need, and it's all on display here. So that means you can browse all of the parts right here in person, and you can't get that shopping online. Now, what I really like is over here on these screens, we actually have updated pricing every single day for AMD and Intel CPUs. So you can see in real time what our pricing is for all of those CPUs. And speaking of CPUs, why don't we go over here and take a look? So for processors, obviously we have everything that you would want for Team Blue or Team Red. So for AMD, Intel, all of the CPUs that you need, but we go beyond just having all of the CPUs, we also have our famous bundles. So that means you can get a CPU, motherboard, and memory all bundled together. And with that bundle, you actually get some really killer savings. So depending on which bundles that we're running at the time, you can get, let's say, an AMD 9800X3D that'll come with a memory kit and a motherboard as well. And it's a really good starting point for building your first PC. Sometimes you can get overwhelmed by all of the different decisions that you have to make when building a PC. So those bundles make a really good starting point. Now, if you come with me over here, you can see we have tons of motherboards in stock. So all of these are AMD motherboards. We have Intel motherboards right over there, and we have every single variant that you can think of. So whether you're looking for a B850 or an X870E, we have you covered. So that means you can get any tier that you would want. So if you want a low budget option, a medium budget option, a high budget option, we have all of that available for you. And it's really nice to just come here and see everything right here in person. That's actually the best thing. So if you want a previous gen, if you want the latest gen, we have all of that here. Now, if you come with me over here, you can see aisle by aisle, we have some of our GPUs. So for instance, we have our Intel GPUs like the Intel B570 and Intel B580, which I actually kind of like those GPUs a lot. They perform really, really well for budget cards. Over here, you can see that we have all of our memory kits. So depending on which memory you would like to get for your build, obviously you can go with our bundles and that'll come bundled with memory ahead of time, or you can pick whatever memory you want. So if you want something with some tighter timings or bigger capacities, we have that available. We also have all of our NVIDIA GPUs over here. So whether you're looking something ranging from a 5060 all the way up to a 5090, we got them in stock and they're here ready for you to pick up. Now, if you keep coming with me this way, we have more aisles of just stuff. All of your storage needs are going to be right over here. So all of your SSDs, Gen 3, Gen 4, Gen 5 SSDs are all going to be available here. So for instance, if you want to get the latest Gen 5 SSD, we have the 9100 Pro from Samsung, which we tested out on our channel before, and that is actually a really fast fast SSD. But we're actually getting more Gen 5 SSDs very soon. We also have memory kits, not just for PCs, but for laptops as well. So if you want to upgrade the memory in your laptop, got that for you right here. But if you come with me over here, that's not the end of it, because Build Your Own has everything that you can imagine. Over here, we have more SSDs, but we have all kinds of variants. So for instance, if you want a 2.5-inch SSD, that's going to be one of your SATA connected SSDs, we have those available. We have more of our inland SSDs, those are our in-house brand, but we have really, really good deals on those. And I actually use the inland performance drives. I really like those a lot. But when it comes to SSDs, we carry all of the major brands. But it's not just solid state storage. We also have hard disks as well. Now, hard disks, that is necessary when you need bulk storage. I'm talking long-term bulk storage. I like having these in my PC because I use it for video editing, so that's where I store a lot of my bulk storage. In our studio, we have a network attached storage that we use, as well as our server that we're setting up, so that's gonna have a whole lot of these. And we have every capacity that you can think of when it comes to HDDs. Now, power supplies are the most crucial component in your build because it supplies all of the power to all of your components. So it's really important that you get the right power supply for your build. But if you don't know which one to get or what wattage to get, our associates can help you out. They can help you figure out the wattage requirement of your entire system. They can help put a parts list together for you so you know exactly how much power you're going to need. They'll make sure that you get the right power supply for your needs, as well as getting the right power connector. A lot of GPUs now have a 12-volt 2x6 connector, and if you don't know what that is, or if you don't know what the ATX 3.1 standard is, our associates can help you out there. So if you want to get a 5080, they'll make sure that you get the right power supply to supply that 5080 with the power that it needs. But if you follow me around the corner over here, we have even more power supplies available. This is just one aisle because we have all of these power supplies here. And actually, if you look over here, we have even more power supplies. But you have to keep in mind, we have to keep inventory to support everyone's needs. So whether you're looking for just a 500 watt or up to 1600 watts, we have all of those different power supplies. And we have all the biggest brands. So if you want MSI, Corsair, we have Lian Li, we have Asus, we have it all here. And there's so much more to see as you come down here. Now, in case you didn't notice, we have tons of cases, literally tons, because when you come and buy a PC, your case is actually the part that you're going to see the most. Now, obviously, cases these days have tons of tempered glass panels because you really want to see those components inside. But regardless, your case, I mean, that's what you're going to interact with the most. And that's really kind of the house of your PC. Now, the thing is, when you shop online, you can't feel and touch the case. You can't see it in person like you can here. So for instance, with some of these cases, this has a nice wood panel over here, but if you want to check out the texture or get a feel for it, you can actually see that for yourself. For instance, this actually has laser etched logo right here for Antec. You can't get that online. You might not see that online, or you might not be able to see the different textures that you get with that. And that's actually like a really tangible thing that's really nice about shopping at Microcenter. And I love walking through our case aisles. I mean, we have every variety, every brand that you can think of. So whether you want NZXT, height, fractal design, if you want Asus, we have MSI, we have Montec. If you're looking for something on a budget, we have everything that you need. And it's nice to see it all in one aisle. Let's be real. It's not enough to just have the most powerful PC. I mean, it's got to look good too. And the cool thing is we have everything you need to get the right aesthetic. So if you're looking for a specific color case, a specific theme that you want to put together with either RGB, or if you want specific fans, let's say you want to make a full Noctua build. Well, we have all the Noctua fans that you would want, and we probably have a case that's going to match that really beautiful tan and brown colorway. Or if you want to go full blackout build, we have that too. I really like these Lian Li builds. I'm a big fan of these RGB streamers that you can put on here. That looks cool. So CPU coolers are an extremely important component in your PC build. Now, if you don't know what kind of cooler you need for the CPU that you've picked out, our associates can help you make that decision. For instance, if you get a 9700X, well, some single tower coolers are actually going to be perfectly fine for that kind of CPU. But let's say you get something like a 14900K or a 9950X3D. Well, dual tower coolers might be the way to go. Or you might want to get an AIO, one of those water cooler all-in-one units, which we also have a lot of, by the way. Come over here and check them out. So AIOs, we have all of the AIOs that you would ever want in every variant in every brand. So for instance, if you only want a 2-fan 280 millimeter rad, we have that. If you want to go up to 360 millimeters, 480 millimeters, we have all of those available. Some will have LCD screens, some will have RGB, some will just be full blackout, which I actually like using in some of our builds. You can see that in some of the build videos we've done. But when it comes to coolers, we've really got you covered. Now, this is actually one of my favorite areas of BYO because this is the most crucial when it comes to your next PC build. You're in the middle of a build, you're putting everything together, and then you realize you ran out of fan headers, or maybe you ran out of USB headers, and it happens to me all the time. Well, we have everything you need to fix those issues. So for instance, if you need some fan splitters, or if you need some simple fan controllers, maybe you need some USB splitters, we have all of the different screws that you're gonna need because sometimes you just lose those screws. Well, we have those available as well. All of the random parts and connectors and adapters, if you need a SATA cable or anything like that, we have it all here. And it's all priced really, really well. So it makes your life easier when something goes wrong on your next build and you just need to grab a random cable. Well, guess what? It's right here. You can grab it right off the shelf and you can fix it same day. Now we have tons of other things that you can use to clean your PC, or if you need something really niche. I mean, look at this, PCIe Gen 3x4 adapter for an NVMe drive. Maybe you have an older motherboard that doesn't have an NVMe slot. Well, you can still get those SSDs and those SSD speeds with no problem. And we have everything else you need to support a wide range of just different things. Wow, it looks like I'm actually in tech heaven. Wait, I really am. You know, it's really cool that you could try these out in person so you can get a sense of it for yourself. And we have tons of VR headsets available. So if you want to get a MetaQuest 3 or a MetaQuest 3S, these are actually really great VR devices. I really like using these a lot. I hooked this up to my PC so I could play Half-Life Alyx, but there's a plethora of games out there. I also highly recommend checking out Population 1. That's a really, really fun VR game. So look into that one. So one quick addition that we have here on display, we are going to have this Asus ROG Astral Dahab edition. And I'm sure you've seen this in the news because this is a gold-plated 5090. And I put gloves on for this one because I didn't want to get any gunk on it while we open it up. But this is a beautiful, beautiful looking GPU that we have here. I mean, the ROG Astrals are already really nice looking, but a gold-plated edition, this is just sick. But we went the extra mile because not only is this a gold-plated GPU, this is also signed by Jensen Huang. So we will have this on display here at the Santa Clara Micro Center, and you can come by, check it out for yourself, take a picture with it if you really want, and then we'll be putting this up for charity auction, which we'll have some info in the description below. So check that out. So make sure you stop by after grand opening if you want to see something as cool as this.
I think there's never been a better time to be an all-day, everyday computer user because there were so many amazing laptops out there. You can go big screen for gaming. You can go super thin and light for business. You can get something that's kind of a hybrid in the middle. And just the sheer choice that you have now. As somebody who's been reviewing laptops for basically 20 years, I've never seen this much variety and this much value. I really love going all the way big with gigantic 18-inch gaming systems that have the latest NVIDIA chips, and Intel and AMD processors. I also love really slim, really light portable business and student laptops. A lot of those actually now have Qualcomm Snapdragon chips inside them. And that's stuff like the Microsoft Surface series. A lot of those have those Qualcomm chips inside. And what I really like about those, and this is also starting to bleed in some of the new Intel and AMD systems, is the CPUs have an NPU component built in. That's a neural processing unit. And that is what you offset a lot of the AI computation to. So you can actually do a lot of the onboard AI processing that before you needed something like a specialized graphics card inside your system to do. But now that's coming down to very slim, very light, very reasonably priced computers. And they take all kinds of shapes and sizes. Like for instance, with the Microsoft Surface, you can just get the Surface Slate that has a cool kickstand that comes out and add the clip-on keyboard to it. And then you have something that's kind of like a hybrid laptop, tablet kind of combination. Or you can get like the Surface laptop, which is a traditional clamshell. And in all these systems, you know, you could go Intel, you could go Qualcomm. There's really a lot of variety out there. But I think a lot of the excitement right now in laptops is about laptops with the latest NVIDIA graphics chips in them. We just saw the desktop versions of those in January of 2025. About 2 months later, you started seeing the laptop versions of those. Like I've been playing around with this 18-inch screen Asus giant Strix Scar laptop that has an NVIDIA 5090 in it, super high-end Intel CPU, and something that you were not able to do for many years. The back panel comes off and you can actually access the fans and the RAM and the storage. And laptops now are not as much, you know, the sealed boxes that they used to be, and they actually have some user serviceable parts inside. And I hope that's a trend we see in more and more laptops going forward. One of my favorite laptop accessories these days is this whole family of lightweight, relatively inexpensive portable monitors that all connect via USB-C. Something like this guy, very slim, very light, and I just get a USB connection to my laptop, don't need any other power source. And then I've got a dual screen thing happening where I can put a video meeting on this off to the side, but focus on something else I'm doing on my main screen. And it turns out this is one of the great laptop accessories you didn't know you need, and they're so thin and light, they just fold up. You can stick it right in your laptop bag. And when I'm not using a laptop, let's say I'm using a desktop, well, I'm gonna have my big monitor to go along with it. And one of the big things I've learned to do is not just leave the monitor on the stand it comes with, but actually get a mount, and it's a mount that can go into the side of the wall. I've done that a few times, where these days I have this big wooden desk and I have a clamp mount on the back of the desk that comes up, and I put the monitor on there, and you get a lot more flexibility in terms of positioning, in terms of height, in terms of angle, and what's perhaps even more important, I get just a little bit of desktop real estate back. And if you're working from home or you have a small office, any little bit of desktop space that you can get back counts for a lot. And that's why I think I would almost never use a computer monitor without a separate mount now. Next to your computer setup, possibly the biggest tech investment in your home is going to be your TV. So what do you want? You want bigger, you want brighter, you want better. For me, that's a 77-inch OLED at home. A 65-inch is really good. 77 is becoming very popular. They're moving up into 85 and even bigger now. And a lot of those screens, you can get OLED displays, organic light emitting diode displays, for prices that would have been unbelievable a couple of years ago. And of course, OLED screens are well known for having the brightest colors, the deepest blacks. It's really the default TV technology you want to go for now, especially if, like me, you have a computer hooked up to your big living room TV, which is great for surfing the web. It's great for gaming, getting PC gaming power on your big screen TV. Really the best combination of these two pillars of technology. And I'll tell you what, if you run into any resistance or feedback, you just tell everybody at home, I said it's okay to get the biggest TV you want. And of course, at Microcenter Santa Clara, we've got a huge Apple display because we are just steps away from Apple headquarters in Cupertino. So it's always great to see all the latest Apple stuff here. I actually traded up recently from an M1 iMac to a new M4 Mac Mini connected to an Apple display. And that is one of my favorite computer setups of all time. I use it for a ton of creative stuff. And of course, besides that, you have what I think is possibly the most universally useful laptop ever made, and that is the 13-inch MacBook Air, of course, also available with Apple's very powerful M4 chip. Now, I'm going to tell you a little story about how Microcenter just helped me. I always have a very carefully curated bag of cables I bring with me on trips, like coming out here to Santa Clara for the store opening. And I actually brought the wrong watch charger with me. I brought a USB-C one, but the little power strip I bring has USB-A ports. And I said, how am I going to convert this C to A? I would need an adapter that goes female USB-C to male USB-A, which is the opposite of what most people usually do. Hard to find. I went to the big cable and adapter aisle, and immediately I found exactly what I was looking for. So once again, Microcenter saves the day.
We are here in one of my favorite new sections of our brand new Santa Clara store, the gaming and gaming accessories. We'll go through aisle by aisle, starting with mice. We have so many mice, from SteelSeries to Red Dragon to Asus to Glorious. We have just about anything any gamer could want, from ambidextrous mouse to your traditional right-handed mouse, from 2 buttons to 20 buttons. If you're looking for a mouse, this is the place to find it. And speaking of lots of buttons, it's also the place to get keyboards like this 8BitDo that I've talked about very recently on our shorts. I love this keyboard so much. Not only does it look great, it sounds great, and it comes with those big chunky buttons. Let's keep looking though, because this is one of so many keyboards that we have at our microcenter stores, and you can try them out while you're here. You're not sure what that SteelSeries feels like, you're not sure what those Keychrons feel like? Sit down, give a little bit of a typey type on it, get a better feel for how it sounds, how it's gonna work for you, and pick out the keyboard that is right for you. Over here we have our Logitech display covering all the goodness that Logitech brings to the gaming space. Right here we have mostly keyboards, some headsets. On the other side we have my favorite, the Logitech G502X Lightspeed mouse. If the short isn't out yet, it will be soon. I promise. I have a lot to say about those mice. They are stunning. Let's keep moving. We're here at the Logitech aisle of our brand new Santa Clara store, but it's not the gaming section. No. This here is a focus on productivity and general use Logitech. And they're known for that for a reason. Their eye-catching designs, ergonomic support, and ease of use make Logitech a go-to for anyone looking for an easy, quick to set up mouse and keyboard for either home use or office use. And speaking of office use, let's take a look at the other side and see what they got. Over here is where we get the high-end productivity keyboards from Logitech. Things like the mechanical illuminated K845 offer mechanical switches on a keyboard that won't look out of place in the office. So if you're looking for some long haul work, whether you're writing like me or doing something else, these are a great way to make sure that you have an easy typing experience. If you're looking for a new keyboard and you don't know what you're looking for, why not build your own? The Santa Clara store has a wide selection of parts, components, switches, bases, keycaps, from glorious to let you start from the ground up and build the perfect keyboard for you. You're looking for clicky switches? They got them. You're looking for linear? They got them. You're looking for a variety of colors for your keycaps? They got them. Sizes, O-rings, you name it. Build your own keyboard and get typing at Santa Clara. I'm gonna brush past this because the Razer section is huge. Obviously, we're gonna start out with the mice, all of the usual good ones, Basilisk, Naga, you name it, it's here. Get your hands on it, get a feel for it, decide, do I need all of these MOBA buttons or can I get by with just a more traditional mouse? You got options, you can find out here. But that's not all that comes from Razer. Over here in this wonderful aisle, we have both headsets and keyboards. Razer keyboards, iconic for their super clicky, super great feeling green switches. And over here, just some gorgeous headsets, including, we get a little goofy, obviously, but they're of the utmost quality. Razer stuff is absolutely incredible. Let's keep it rolling. Speaking of headphones, and that leads us to the headphone aisle. Gaming headphones are a big ask sometimes, especially because there's so many of them. From SteelSeries to Corsair to JBL to Audio-Technica, there are a lot of headphones out there and you can try them on before you buy them. But if you're looking for a quick recommendation, HyperX Cloud Alphas are the headphones that I've been using for 2 or 3 years now. They say there's up to a 300-hour battery life, and I'm here to confirm that. I've charged those things like 4 times maybe in the span of literal years. Great headphones, highly recommended. And now, let's check out the last section, mouse pads. To close things out, let's take a look at Deskmats and mouse pads, the final piece of any gaming setup. Deskmats we have a wide selection of in a variety of different colors and styles. These are obviously designed for both keyboard and mouse to fit on one piece. We also have ultra-wide, massive mouse pads if you're someone who likes to have a low DPI that swings all the way across the board. Or, if you're looking for something a little bit fancier, why not spice it up with a little bit of RGB, add a little bit of flash to the top of your desk. But if you're looking for something more basic, more can blend in the workplace, why not a traditional mouse pad from Logitech?
Networking is the core of how your computer talks to the rest of the world. And Microcenter is the best place to up your networking game because we have the biggest brands like Netgear, TP-Link, and Unify. And we have everything that you need, whether you're a home user or a business, from routers to gateways to access points and cameras. When we built our video village, we used the Express 7 as our main gateway, and it's also an access point, and you can come in store, touch it, feel it, see how big it is, and see how it'll fit into your life. And we have everything that your business might need that you might not even think about, like voice over IP phones and security cameras, and they all interconnect with Unify. And we have even more for your home lab or business, from gateways to switches all the way to NVRs and NASs. And if you don't need anything that intense, we have plenty of mesh Wi-Fi to go around, from Eero to Google all the way to TP-Link. If you want to make something from scratch, there's no better way than 3D printing. And we have some of the best 3D printer brands, from Anycubic to Elegoo to Creality, and of course, Bamboo Lab. Not only that, but we have the filament that you want. And the way you find the filament you want is with these awesome swatches. All you do is take the swatch that you want. We're gonna go with blue because we're microcenter and it's just the best color ever. And then we're gonna go ahead and scan it, and it shall rotate to the right shelf. Once it rotates to the right shelf, it'll show you exactly where that filament is. And if you're not sure what filament you want, we have samples galore for you to try out without having to buy an entire kilogram. Single board computers like the Raspberry Pi are incredibly powerful for teaching you everything from servers to computing to electronics in general. You can build your own IPKVM with an adapter board like this, or you can build your own IoT infrastructure with Arduinos, LEDs, sensors, relays, and more. Your next electronics project, we have what you need at your local micro center.